Oh, hey, am I? Cause I see the pictures, man. Not me. It's all good. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry, I didn't know we started. Um, but at least my man Boone on my screen it shows the pictures. It doesn't show me. Okay. All right. Anyways, while he gets to that, there we go. There we go. Cool. Uh, welcome back. I'll start over. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Wednesday Night Fights. Uh, you know, this morning I got a text from a friend saying that one of our dear friends passed away, and it's I mean when you hear that in the morning to start your day, you're like you're trying to get all the information like who was it and what happened, and that didn't pop into my head right away because unfortunately these type of things, um, and it sucks to say, I've been through a lot of passing in my time, a lot of passing, um, and 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 it sucks every single time. It really really does suck. So by the time like the name kind of sunk in, I'm like, you know, it doesn't matter what part of the community that person is in. It's just that you know that particular person has passed. And my man Shizza, I found out he's gone, and it right away how these things happen in FGC is get a message, people tweet it out, and everybody's in shock. Shizza, also known as Shane Cummings, uh, he came to us in the SoCal fighting game community as a rookie player in Street Fighter 4 era, and this is like over 10 years ago. Got the game, and he started to show up at any locals and that had it, right? Because I didn't see him in the arcade era because in SoCal we had some arcades left that had Street Fighter 4. We had AI, we had Super Arcade, we had Family Fun, so we had a bit of a head start. By the time that Street Fighter 4 came out, Shizza, he started going to the locals. Very quiet, very quiet, to himself guy, but his game did the talking. And one of the most recognizable things about him is that he played on pad. All right, in the Street Fighter 4 era, it was still to us as OGs when we saw anybody that played on pad. Obviously, at those times, we didn't really take pad players as serious as we should have, because everybody was primarily using a Mad Catz TE or some kind of a fight stick that they built. But he was doing it, and he did it. He played Chun-Li, and he was getting his ass kicked in the beginning. He was playing with the cats from Los Angeles, right? Because he's from a place that we call inner city. That's like deep in the hood of LA. So we're talking about Online Tony, the Hugo 101. Like those are the cats that he played with. And he went around. He went around like I did, from freaking LA all the way to San Diego. He went to every single tournament imaginable. Every single day there was a tournament or a local event, he went to. And I took notice. I ran some events during the week, of course. This is before Wednesday Night Fights. We had sessions. As you get familiar with these guys, you have conversations like, hey, where are you from and who you play with, and you're using Chun-Li. Why not play another character? We always try to get everybody to play a better character, but so no, Chun-Li worked for him. It's okay, yeah. So Chun-Li, and he played some of the greatest back then. He played with Ed Ma. He played with Combo Fiend, right? He played with Ken I, like the OGs of like the north part of LA to the valley with us. And of course, when he also like befriended everybody. Like he was such like the nicest cat, man. Man, I could not even remember one time that I've seen him not be super chill. Obviously be upset with himself of the game, but like he had this like demeanor where it's like, all right, you calm down, you get back into it. Super nice dude. So Shane, he really impacted us from somebody that is a new generation player. He's self-made. He had no background of getting like going into that level of a great player, right? He did it on his own. Like nobody really told him what to do. He just had passion for the game, and that's all it took. And yeah, when he met us, of course we gave him some guidance, but that's all you can do. We can guide you to, you know, improve your combos, your timing, you know, give you good direction, a good sense of where to go to the game. But it's up to you. So he took that, and yeah, he did practice with not only the LA guys, but he practiced with Andy OCR, the Orange County guys, right? In my area, with me, Andy OCR, Warrock, Tatsu, the guys at in UCI Irvine, you know, and even past that, he went all the way to San Diego to practice with the cats at the Box Arena. He went to the IE, the Inland Empire, right, with, man, some of the best cats over there with Fusion 909, Moval, the early level up crew, you know, with Frank Reyes, right, Cicada, and he built his you know, he built his own style of play with Chun-Li. So Street Fighter 4 has gotten a strong year for him, and he was at the point where now he's getting like top 5, top 3 in tournaments. He hasn't really won yet. You know, he's doing his work. So I took notice. Online Tony took notice. And speaking of Online Tony, I had a call with him earlier. And I know he really wanted me to say this. But one of the most memorable times that Online Tony had with Shizza and myself was actually at Super NCR, where there was a team tournament at NorCal Regionals, and we all teamed up. And it was pretty much our team versus Ricky's team. And, you know, Shizza was like, he wasn't really the main decision maker at the team. It was me and Online Tony, because Online Tony was the cheap ass character. He picked Seth, right? And I was like the most winningest player in SoCal. And Shizza was all like, yeah, you know, I'll respect what you guys do. So we actually, when we played Ricky, Online Tony told me that we got smoked the first, like he OCV'd us the first time. So when we ran it back, Tony's all, hey, bye, man, put me in, man. I got some stuffers and roofers. So he played versus, first. And he scraped Ricky, okay? This is what you want me to say. He beat him bad. And then Shizza got up, and we've never seen this much excitement out of Shizza ever. Because he's usually like just kind of there and just, you know, cool, right? But as soon as Tony won his first match the way that he did, he like jumped out of his seat and he just started like rocking his eyes. Dude, we got him. That's when we know, when we see an action like that in the FGC, that type of love when you have, not just for the game, but for that person that you've been grinding with this entire time, that's when you know that like your family, it's set. That bond that my friend, my homie, the people that I've been practicing with, like I'm happy for them for winning. You know, and Shizza was that guy. So after that, his skills elevated by Super Street Fighter 4. There was a tournament called Evo, and my man, we trained every single week for that tournament. Me and him, we played. We grinded, and we played. And he actually took me out at Evo. He beat me at Evo, and he placed top 8. So all right, so let me tell you about Evo. So in order to get one of these, all right, in order to get one of these at Evo, there's only 8 of them given to people once a year, okay? In whatever game it is, Street Fighter, only 8, okay? And he's one of them in the world that got one of these. Okay, I'm going to tell you straight up, we're talking about thousands of competitors This guy. Thousands of people. I haven't even placed top 8 at Evo in Street Fighter 4 at that time. He did on a pad with Chun-Li as a Street Fighter 4 starter. And it's not that we couldn't believe it. That impacted us all in SoCal. We were so happy for him to do that. We couldn't have been more prouder to have one of our own to really make his mark. And he kept playing. It was so humble. He kept playing. And then he made some years later, he made the conscious decision to take a step back from gaming and to take care of his personal stuff. So I mean, of course, we were really sad at that point, but we obviously, it happens with all of us in the FGC, right? We can play in spurts of the moment. It's 2 years, 3 years, go to college, can't play, get a job, get married, and we have to take a break. And that's, you got to do what you got to do. You got to take care of you. And he did that. And the last time I personally saw him was here at Esports Arena a few years back when Street Fighter V came out. He had a lot more hair, more hair than I remember him by. Same guy, like same person as when I last saw him, and he sat down and he didn't enter a tournament or anything. He was just watching everybody, right? Like no time has passed. And everybody came up to him and shook his hand, and he did the same. He just hang down and talk to him. And Tony actually was there too. And it was so random, right? Because Tony stopped playing for a while too. His Street Fighter 4 is his baby, and not many people play it, so he kind of stopped coming. But he did come to show up, and I saw them together, right? They were just chopping it up. Hey, what are you doing? What have you been up to? And still, there was just something that that Shizza wouldn't really talk about in his personal stuff. So, but it's been found out that he did pass, and he passed in November. So he's had this very private, and I know it's very painful for his family and painful to get that message out. When you're ready to tell friends. So to Shane's family, my condolences to you. You have such a beautiful, beautiful person in this life that we had a chance to know and to be inspired from. And and shout outs to George and Angela for putting just spreading the word, letting all of us know how we can pay tribute to him and share some good memories. And if you guys want to find out more, there is a GoFundMe that we've set up. Shane Shizza Cummings. 100% of the proceeds, of course, go to his family. Because these things, how do you even prepare for them? You don't. We do our best to help out people in the FGC. We had past fallen warriors in the FGC. Rest in peace, Little Loco, Remix, right? All these beautiful people that have stuck with us for 10, 20 years playing fighting games. And, Shizza, even though that he's passed, his legacy moves on, and there's so many pad players out there now. He's been around and been winning tournaments before Snake Eyes, right? Before his reign, right? And Snake Eyes has been like one of the best pad players, in the country and arguably the world at one point. So the traditions and legends, they go on. And again, to Shane's family and friends and loved ones, thank you guys so much for giving us a beautiful person in this community. There's so much more I would love to say about him, but if you guys want to share your moments about Shane, please use hashtag WNF. We'll retweet. I can even chop it up with you guys and share a lot more stories about Shane. I know, this is only one night, but we're always welcome to talk about him. forever and ever and on. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Um, at this time, I just want to take a little moment of silence for Shane, Shizza, Cummings. All right, thank you, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and then we come back. More Street Fighter action. I know Shane wanted us to play some more Street Fighter. See you in a bit.